Hello friends, welcome back to another vlog. I just realized I've probably been rubbing like mascara all over my face because I've been like rubbing my eyes. But hello, it is Sunday. I meant to start this vlog yesterday but completely forgot. But it's been a really busy weekend, but it's also been a super fun weekend as well. Yesterday I did go to my friend's house and we actually canceled D&D. I'm not really entirely sure why, but it sounds like they weren't able to get like what they wanted set up in time for the party. So instead we played this really fun board game that I definitely want my own version of because it was so much fun. It's called Mysterium and it was super fun. I kept saying that it was like a better Clue. It was so fun and I loved it. I definitely want to own a copy of that board game. It was super fun. So we played 2 rounds of that, made homemade pizza. It was great and hung out, celebrated their birthday, and then I got home at like 11 and fell asleep at like midnight and had to wake up early this morning to finish getting the house ready for company, and it was super fun. Brunch was great, the food is great, and it was so fun seeing everyone, and my niece and nephew are like the funnest to play with. So my niece just turned 1 and my nephew is turning 4 tomorrow, and they're both just so fun to play with. It was just great. So I just like played with them the whole time because like, I don't know, the adults were like talking and stuff and I was playing with the kids because you know what, they're so much fun. So that was a blast and got lots of really awesome gift cards for Amazon and Barnes & Noble, which is exciting. So I kind of think I maybe want to get a new camera. I do love my Canon G7X Mark II, which I've had since the beginning of my channel. I love it. I think this camera is a great little camera. It's so perfect for traveling, for vlogs and pictures. Like, I think this camera takes amazing pictures for just being how small it is, but I kind of think it's time for an upgrade. And I do want to keep this camera. I will be keeping it as a good travel camera. Like if I go on trips or anything, this would be the camera I would take. And I also like it for just how small it is, so it's definitely a camera I will keep using. But I think for my channel, I think it'd be really fun to get a bigger, better camera. So I have been looking at one of the newer Canon cameras because they are changing their lens style from what I can tell. So it's going to be a new lens style and the older cameras are not going to be compatible with that. So I was thinking I'd rather get a newer camera now so it will be compatible with lenses later. And I would love the idea of having interchangeable lenses on a camera because I obviously can't do that on the G7X. But I just think that'd be kind of fun. I may do that. I don't know. I'm thinking about it and I'm going to keep thinking about it. I'm not going to make any rash purchases until maybe after my birthday, and like that's next week. So, you know, give myself a week to really think about it some more. But I just think that'd be an awesome investment because cameras truly do not really go out of style, at least in newer cameras. Like, obviously technology is constantly changing, but I feel like the G7X and the camera that I've been looking at are gonna be like lifetime cameras. Like, I'm not gonna get rid of those, and I think it's gonna be great. So that's kind of maybe a little thing I'll get myself for my birthday, which I always like to do, you know, treat yourself. So anyways, I have not read anything today. It's honestly been just pretty chaotic. So I am currently reading Alone with You in the Ether by Olivia Blake, which I think I'm like 20% into, and I'm enjoying it, but I'm kind of thinking I maybe am not an Olivia Blake girly, which I'm really disappointed by because like the girlies love Olivia Blake and I want to be that girly. I want to be with the girlies, but I just don't think I am. And I don't know if it's because her books are so character focused that the plot just seems inconsequential to what's going on. It's all about the characters, which is fine. I love characters. I honestly fall either way with plot-driven or character-driven stories, but this one just feels very character-heavy. And the problem is I don't like love these characters, so it makes it hard to want to pick this book up and keep reading it when I'm not like obsessed with the characters. They are interesting, but I'm just not like in love with it. So I will keep going because I am intrigued, but it's not feeling like a great book to me. It's feeling like a 3-star. So there's that. And then I am still listening to the Final Girl Support Group as my audiobook. I'm about 50-60% through that. I will be finishing that this week, along with Alone with You in the Ether, hopefully, and that one's going pretty good. I don't love it either. Like, I think it's fine, so I'm just keeping reading that. But I think I'm finally entering the part in Grady Hendrix's book in Final Girl Support Group that it's gonna start ramping up and getting crazy, but we haven't gotten there, and it's kind of annoying and kind of slow. I think that's it for reading updates I have. I am obviously still in the middle of Brizinger, but I haven't listened to more of it since. But that's kind of where we're at. So brunch was great, and I only had a little bit to clean up afterwards. I'm still not feeling the greatest, which I promise I will not talk about it so much, because I just edited last week's vlog and I talked about it so much. I'm so sorry. I did not mean to complain that entire vlog about how I wasn't feeling well. I just, you know, wasn't feeling well. So I guess I just thought, you know what, let's just talk about it in every single clip. So I'm really sorry about that. That is really annoying to listen to, and I don't mean to complain that much. You know, I guess it just happened. So we're not gonna talk about it. It's just gonna be a known fact, okay? I don't feel great. That's it. Only time I'm gonna say it this vlog. I promise, hopefully. So yeah, that is basically it for this clip. It's about 4:30ish, so I think I'm going to feed the cat soon and go down for dinner at my parents' house, and then basically just kind of get ready for the week when I get back, which is kind of scary. I really wish I had Monday off just to like recuperate, because it was such a busy weekend. But next weekend I only am going to be busy on the 14th, and then the 15th is my birthday. So that will be a pretty chill day. I don't plan on doing a whole lot. Like, I hope it's a pretty calm, chill day and we could just like hang out and relax at home. So yeah, that is all I have for this update. So I will chat with you all later. Wow, it's been forever since I talked to this vlog. Hi! I don't think I've talked to this vlog since like Saturday, so I'm very sorry about that. It's been, you guessed it, chaotic. I am nothing if not predictable. But I have been reading quite a bit, and I've just been kind of in my head about a lot of things, and just, I keep pretending, like in my head, I've already updated this vlog like 4 times this week, but obviously that hasn't happened, and I don't know why, like I do that all the time. Like, so let's get into the things I've read since we last chatted. So today I've actually finished 2 books, which is really my main reading update. So the first one I finished was Alone with You in the Ether by Olivia Blake. I like this one a fair bit. It definitely was more romance heavy than I was expecting. I don't know why I wasn't expecting that, but we follow 2 characters who I am, of course, forgetting their names. I think it's like Regan and Aldo. That sounds right. I think that's right. And we follow them, and they're like complete opposites of one another. Aldo is very much like a science nerd guy, and Regan is just kind of free and just doesn't have much of a tie to anything, but she loves painting and art, and she definitely is going through some mental health issues, and her and Aldo meet, and it reads very much like what I imagine Sally Rooney's books are like. These characters are like really quirky, and they're so different, and the way they interact is like so quirky. And I mean, it was fine, but I just feel like I maybe am just not the one to enjoy Olivia Blake's books because I have read The Atlas Six and I didn't love it, and I kind of feel like it was for the same reasons I didn't love this one, which is just the characters are just not my favorite, and her books are very, very, very heavily focused on the characters, which is great. I love character focused books and I love plot focused books. Like, I could go either way, but I just don't love her characters. So when we are just focused on the characters mainly, it just makes it, you know, not the greatest. But the paperback of this book is coming out on the 24th of October, which is why I had an ARC of this book, which was pretty cool. So excited that I read and reviewed this for the publisher because the publisher is Tor, and I want to get on Tor's like good list so I can get more books from them in the future because I love their titles and would love to be able to request more books and get accepted a little faster if I, you know, read the books on time. Anyways, so just now I just finished listening to the audiobook of The Final Girl Support Group. So I didn't like this one as much as other Grady Hendrix books that I've read. I gave this one like 3 stars. I'd probably say maybe 3.5 is more accurate. I did like this one, but for how short this book looks, it took me forever to read. I mean, it was good. I did enjoy it, and I liked her main character well enough. I am glad I listened to this. I don't know if I would have liked it as much if I had read it physically, but it was pretty good. It read more thrillery to me than horror, but it was still good. I liked it well enough, but it wasn't like my favorite thing ever. The only book I am currently in the middle of now is Brizinger, which is going to be my all the time audiobook until it's done because this is due back next week and I still have, you know, a decent chunk to get through. So I'm going to start listening to this like when I'm getting ready in the morning to just get more reading time done in this book. And I am cat sitting starting on my birthday and like cat sitting for like a whole week, which is great audiobook listening time. So if I don't finish this book before then, I will definitely finish it for cat sitting. And then I have a couple other audiobooks I will be reading as well. But I'm honestly feeling a tad burned out on audiobooks, which is so not like me, but I have been listening to the majority of audiobooks for this entire year for reading. So I think for November and December, I think it'd be nice to just like listen to whatever sounds good and then just like physically read everything else. For my next physical read, I really need to read my book club's book, which is Mr. Magic. This book is quite short, so I think it'd be a fun book to start because it is really short and I imagine I could read it probably pretty quickly. So don't know too much about this one, so I will let you all know more about it once I know more about it. But I'm really excited to read this one and I hope people are enjoying it and I look forward to starting it. Of course, my battery died, but I'm back. So I do really want to start Out There Screaming, which I do have planned for a specific video, but I want to start reading this because I want to read a story a day and it's already almost the midpoint of the month and I haven't even started this. So I think once I wrap up Brizinger, I think I want to start this because, like I said, I'm just feeling a little burnt out right now, but I want to keep reading. Like, I don't want to stop reading because I don't know if I would like, you know, pick up a book again for a while. So if I just keep reading and maybe just like slow it down a little bit and just kind of cut out audiobooks for a little bit, maybe that would help. But I just feel a little overwhelmed, but there's just a lot going on as well. I do have one exciting update that I don't think anyone but me is really going to be excited about, but as a birthday present to myself, I did go ahead and buy a new camera. I'm so excited. I have been eyeballing a new camera for the longest time and I love the camera that I have now. It's great. It's so easy to use. It's so simple and small and cute, but I feel like I'm outgrowing this camera. And what I mean by that is like the features that I want, this camera can't provide, and I just feel like I'm ready to like level up a little bit. And I'm so excited. So there's no idea of when it's gonna be here, so we're just gonna wait. It honestly doesn't even say when it's gonna ship. They're just gonna email me when it's going to ship. So I'm super excited though, and I'm so hyped. I've been watching so many videos on this camera and everyone's saying it's like the best Canon camera that money could buy right now. And honestly, the price was not too terrible for such a fancy schmancy camera. So if y'all are curious, the camera I got is the Canon EOS R50. It is a mirrorless camera. It has the viewfinder that comes out on the side, which is gonna be an adjustment because with my G7X, I'm so used to the flip up screen that flip out to the side is gonna be an adjustment. But I'm really excited. I can finally use the shotgun mic that I got, which I thought would work with this camera because I had an adapter that I was going to try that didn't work. So my mic will work with that camera, and it's just, oh, it's gonna be so cool. So I'm still debating on if I want to keep this camera as my vlogging camera and then use my new camera for just sit down videos, but I'm kind of thinking I want to use my new camera for all videos just like I do with my G7X, and then I'll just save my G7X for traveling, like when I'm going on a trip or whatever. I would, you know, pack this with me and that would be the camera I would bring because my new camera's staying here. It's too big and too expensive to lug around anywhere, but I'm really excited. I just love electronics and technology things, so I'm just super excited to get another camera, something that is so much more advanced than the little point and shoot that I have now, and something I can really learn more about, like doing manual shooting and stuff and cameras, and maybe do some more camera things. Like, that'd be fun. So anyways, that's kind of it for my exciting news. Obviously, I'll do a whole unboxing and everything once that comes in. Some of the accessories that I bought are shipping, so those should probably be here soon. But the camera itself, I have no clue. It just says they'll email me when it's available, I guess. So anyways, I need to get ready for bed. It is quite late and I am exhausted. I've just been exhausted all week, but I do want to read a little bit before bed, and then of course I have been getting up at like 6 or so and reading for like 45 minutes before I need to feed the cats and get ready for work, which is like the best way to get up in the morning. It's been great. So that is the plan, and hopefully I'll chat with you all tomorrow and put some more updates in this vlog because it's gonna be real short. Anywho's, I'm seriously gonna go now and I'll chat with you all later. Welcome to a super dark background. Hello. It is, I don't remember what day today is. It's Thursday and I have gotten a ton of mail today. Most of it was cat food, but 4 of it was not cat food. So the first one is my D&D character, which I did get created on Hero Forge. There we go. And I'm obsessed with her. She is so cool. It's a little smaller than I was expecting. I was kind of hoping it'd be maybe like double the size for how expensive it was, but I still am obsessed and the quality is honestly incredible. So I would like to introduce you to my D&D character, Araxa. Here she is. So she is a dragonborn wizard, I believe. No, not a wizard. I can't think of it right now. But look, she's got a little cat friend who has wings. So, you know, the cat can keep up with her. My camera's not focusing. There we go. And she has her spell book. And she does use a wand to conduct her magic because she just finds that easier. And I'm obsessed. She has like a little dagger on her hip. I'm just obsessed. She is so cool, but as you can tell, like, it is very miniature. Like, when they said it's a miniature, they weren't kidding. It is definitely super small, but the detail is like exactly what I had online. I'm obsessed and I cannot wait to bring her to my first D&D session, which I don't know if I mentioned, it actually got canceled, but we ended up just playing other board games, but we are rescheduling it at some point. So now I can bring Araxa because I didn't have her at the time. She was still being made, but now I have her and like, oh, she's just so epic. I spent hours creating this character, both like on my D&D character sheet and the like actual little figurine. I'm obsessed with her. I actually made my character for Aurelium Academy as well on Hero Forge. So now that I've seen the scale of what the miniatures come out as, I I have better expectations now what to expect, and I'm really impressed. Like, they are expensive, but the quality is definitely there. So I also have books, which, are we surprised? I don't think we should be. So let's start off with this one. This is a Pango book that I've been waiting on forever. I have Fireborn. So I did also buy the other 2 books in this series from Pango because they were really cheap, and I wanted this specific edition, like the newer editions, because I think they are gorgeous with the black cover and like the jewel tone dragons on them. Stunning. I've also heard nothing but amazing things about this series from Cassidy and a few other booktubers, and I'm just a sucker for dragon books, so I'm excited. I do know this is YA, which, you know, I'm not reading anymore, but from what Cassidy has said, it seems like it's bordering on more new adult. Like, it is definitely YA, but it's like better than YA, so I'm excited. I love these covers and I can't wait to read it. This book is honestly in absolutely perfect condition for how cheap it was. All right, then we have 2 pre-orders, which I have been eagerly awaiting. I could have sworn, I think it's this one, got lost in the mail. Like, it's taken 3 weeks for this book to show up. It's ridiculous. So let's open it. I'm so excited. It is this book. I knew it. I could tell from the size. So I have Starling House. Finally! I have been waiting for this book because I need it for my October TBR. This book is gorgeous, of course, and this is the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition. I have no clue what's exclusive about it. I think it came with like a short story or something. I have no clue, but so excited to finally have this. I need this for October to read, and I'm so excited. This is another pre-order, and the only reason why I know that is because Barnes & Noble is my go-to for pre-ordering books. I do not trust anyone else to pre-order books correctly because Amazon always does a trash fire job of sending books in the mail, and Barnes & Noble always gets them to me usually same week as release, which is unheard of for anybody else. So I trust Barnes & Noble. Plus I'm a member, so like I get, you know, major discounts. Yep. So why does this keep happening? This is not fair. I just want to open my books. Ooh, this book is huge. I'm so sorry for how weird my voice gets when I get excited about things, and I'm so sorry for editing me, who has to deal with that because it's annoying.
Yep, it is annoying.
So we have Swordcatcher by Cassandra Clare. I am so excited to have her first official book outside of the Shadowhunter realm. I don't know what to expect. It's a chunk. I do want to read this in November because look at those end pages, and I feel like it's gonna be gorgeous. Oh, ew. I don't know, I'm not a fan of this cover. I'm not a fan of any of the covers that have come out for this book. The red and gold is just not doing it for me. I wish it just was not that color palette. Like gold and blue, gold and literally any other color. I'm just not a fan of red personally, so maybe that's why, but I am excited. And again, this is the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition. No clue what that entails, but oh, there's a poster in here. Maybe that's what's exclusive. Let me see if I can show you without taking it out. Oh, there's people. So we have this, and then on the other side is another character. So interesting. Maybe that's the exclusive part. I have no clue. The font is giant. I'm really curious. Is this Shadowhunter font? Let me see. No, it doesn't look like it. I don't know if anyone else has noticed, but like all of Cassandra Clare's books are written in like a very specific font, and this one is not written in that, which would make sense because it's not Shadowhunter related. So I'm excited to read this, and I do plan on reading this in November because I gotta know how it is. So those are the books that I have acquired today, which of course there will be more. I do have a lot of October pre-orders, so I will probably have more books coming, and I'm excited. I just love having a huge running list of pre-order books because like almost every month they get a book or two, and it's almost like my own personal bookish subscription box because I have like a book or two a month showing up that I pre-ordered, And it's really fun because sometimes I forget I pre-ordered something and it's like, oh hey, I was super excited about that. So anyways, I'm gonna go change out of work clothes and into comfier clothing and then go down for dinner. We're having gyros, which I'm so excited about. And then tonight I plan on actually finishing Brissinger, which I was not expecting to be finishing this early in the week. Like, I know it's Thursday, it's like late in the week technically, but I was planning on finishing this book on like Saturday or Sunday, but I only have like an hour or so left of the audiobook, so I'm gonna finish it because I might as well get that off my plate and then I could start something else. I really need to start Out There Screaming, so my max is like 2 to 3 books reading at the same time, so I might start Out There Screaming, read a story a day, and then I have Mr. Magic, and then I need to start a new audiobook. So that's kind of the plan at the moment. So I'm going to do all that, get an exercise in tonight. I have been doing pretty good about it this week, and we will go from there. So toodaloo. Hello. Well, I didn't mean to come on here and update again so soon, but I just finished Brissinger. Like, I wasn't expecting to finish this book so quickly. I thought I had so much more left, but I did finish it. I don't know how I feel about it, to be honest. I feel like I need to give myself a little bit of time to think about how I feel about this reread, because as I'm rereading this series for the first time as an adult, I'm not enjoying it as much as Little Kid Me. Little Kid Me was obsessed with this series. Like, that's why my copies are like so battered and like the spines are kind of broken. Well, at least not really on this one, but like the first book, like the cover's basically falling off, and like I have a bunch of dog ears and stuff in this book. But I loved this series, and I just think it was maybe because I hadn't read much fantasy. This was like my very first fantasy series that I was reading, and I just thought it was like the best thing ever. And I can see where Little Kid Me would be obsessed with this, but adult me has read a lot more fantasy and a lot better things. Not to say this is bad, but it's just not as good as other fantasy that I've read is. And I like it well enough, but I just don't think it's quite to the standards that I am reading these days. I don't even know if that makes sense, but you know, it's a product of its time, and it's just a very basic fantasy plotline, which is not a bad thing. Just maybe not what I'm loving these days. But I did finish it. I am initially feeling like it's a 3-star, but I kind of want to sit on that before I rate it. But it was fine. I am glad I finished it. I was not expecting to finish this so quickly. Like I mentioned earlier, I thought I was going to finish this book this weekend, but I guess I finished it today. I am just feeling so exhausted. Like, there's this vent that is like blowing on my face like all day at work, and it just started happening like this week. And I don't know why. Like, I don't know why the AC is on, because it's like, it's winter time now. Like, why is the AC running? So it's really drying out my eyes and making my eyes really irritated, and I don't really know where the vent is. Like, I look at the ceiling like above me, and I don't see anything that looks clearly like a vent. So I really don't know where this breeze is coming from, but it's really irritating my eyes, and it's just been kind of hard to read when I get home. And also maybe why I'm squinting a little bit, just because my eyes just feel so sensitive by the time I get off work, just from being so fatigued all day, having wind on them, that it's almost like hard to keep them open. So yeah, I might ask my coworker or something, or like see if they can maybe get maintenance to come over and like do something about the vent, like maybe point it in another direction or something, because it's really bugging my eyes and it's not been fun. So anyways, I'm going to maybe get ready for bed. It's only like 8 o'clock, but I kind of would like to do that. Maybe just skip a workout today. I just don't have the energy. And just go lay in bed for a few minutes and maybe try to go to sleep a little earlier. Maybe that will help. I don't know. So that's the plan, but I'm happy to have finished Brissinger, and we'll see if I start Out There Screaming. The more I think about it, The more I feel like I need to just read 1 or 2 books at a time right now, not try to do 3 like I keep wanting to, that I just don't have the brain power right now. Like, I'm just not there. So I think we're just gonna stick with 1 or 2 books. So I will decide on what I want to listen to next tomorrow morning. I probably will go with The Seep because it's short and I could probably knock it out this weekend maybe, and if not this weekend, then definitely early next week because I can't sit and listen to a ton of audiobook time doing that. And then I can start on Juniper and Thorn. So whichever direction I go, I'll make my decision then. But anywho, I'm gonna go and I'll chat with you all tomorrow. Hello friends, we made it to Friday. I am so glad this week is over. Not that it was a bad week. You know, I'm just glad for the weekend. It's been a really crazy day, but I left a little bit early and took the cats to the vet and they got a clean bill of health. They're doing great. The vet did say that they are both a little overweight, but that's not a big deal. So they're perfectly healthy otherwise. So she said just to like cut back on the dry food a little bit. So I'm gonna work on that and also play with them more. I've just been so busy and have had such little energy. It's been honestly kind of hard to play with the cats, so I'm gonna try to do that more, although they chase each other a lot around the house and play with each other a lot. But I'm gonna try to play with them more myself because I know they love that and it gets them moving a little bit more. But anyways, for reading update, I am currently reading 3 things, which I said I was not going to do, but here we are. So I have started Mr. Magic by Kirsten White, which is my book club pick for the month, and I'm about 70, actually I'm 80 pages into it, and I'm liking it so far. It's reminding me a little bit of Knock Knock Open Wide, and I had another book that I was going to compare this to, but now I can't remember what it was. But basically following main character Val, who is working on like this horse ranch and basically doing summer camps and stuff. Her and her dad live there and live on the property, and one day these group of people show up on the ranch and it's right after her father's funeral, like actually day of, and they are like, oh my gosh, Val, it's been so long since we've seen you, and she's like, who are you? So we find out that these people are from her past, and she was a child actor on this show called Mr. Magic, which they can't even say. Like, nobody is able to actually say Mr. Magic. They just like shudder and just, they can't even say it. So like whatever happened on this show must have been pretty terrible. So they ask her if they would like to come with them for the show reunion. It's been 30 years since the show has been aired last, and they're all getting back together as a reunion for this podcast show, and they ask Val if she wants to join them, and she doesn't remember anything about this show. She doesn't remember being on it. She doesn't remember these people, but she decides to go with them, and they are traveling across the country to Utah, and they, I think, have just got there, and they're now staying in the house that their parents stayed at while the kids were on set, which is weird because the kids never stayed there. Like, they stayed somewhere else, but the parents lived in this really creepy house, and they're not allowed in the basement, and this house is like 6 floors, I believe, and we just got a really interesting reveal, and I'm liking how the main character has amnesia. Like, I think that is one of my favorite things reading in like thrillers and horror books, because they don't know, so we don't know, and we're kind of figuring it out together, and it's just really interesting. But I also kind of am like, I don't know, I just don't trust anybody, so I just automatically think maybe that's not true. Like, maybe she does remember things and she's just not telling us. Like, that's kind of what I'm thinking, but who knows. So yeah, I'm enjoying it so far, and I kind of hope to finish it this weekend, but I'm not going to hold myself to that because it is a very busy weekend, but a super fun weekend because it's my birthday weekend, so that's exciting. But I do plan on reading quite a bit, but we'll just see how much that actually turns out to be. And then I also started 2 new audiobooks, one of which I'm reading mainly at work, but I'll probably listen to it after I finish my current audiobook, which is The Seep. So I am like 60 pages into this. I literally listened to this much. Hi Holly, do you want to come join me? Both cats had to go to the vet today, which I think I mentioned. They're both fine, but they have been hiding downstairs from me since I've been home, and it's made me sad. Oh, we have a Halili. Okay, anyways, I'm just gonna hold Holly and talk to you guys. So I started the Seep this morning. Do you want to get up there? Okay. I started the Seep, and like I said, I'm like 60 pages into it, and it's pretty good so far. I just don't really know what's going on. So we follow our main character, who has a really cool name, but I can't remember what it is. And her girlfriend are at this party, and they are hanging out with their friends, and there's a substance called the Seep. And from what I can gather so far, the Seep is like this alien thing. Girl, what are you doing? Apparently I have a parakeet cat. You are crazy. Anyways, so apparently the Seep is like this thing that you can ingest, and it allows you to like do modifications to your body. So some of her friends have made body modifications, like they have a cat tongue now, and I think somebody else has angel wings. It allows you to do this stuff, and you can drink it. Like they spiked their like punch or whatever with the Seep. It almost reminds me of like alcohol, but like obviously alcohol doesn't do that to you, but you know, it's something you can add to something else, but it has like this magical ability almost to give you modifications. And our main character has also been using it in the medical field. She's a nurse, I believe, and they use this to cure people of cancers and other ailments that they have, which is really fascinating and also a little creepy at the same time, that this substance can do so much. And so we follow my character, and now her girlfriend, actually I think they're married, so her wife is wanting to be a baby. Like I read that and I kind of laughed. I'm like, what? So you can use this substance and like start your life over from a baby, and like you can pick what you want to do. Like you can start at infancy and you have to learn language and how to walk and like basically start your life over again, or you can like change your appearance. Like one of her friends has also made himself resemble his dead boyfriend, who was black, and he's white, and like there's that whole conversation of like how creepy and disgusting that is, and he doesn't see a problem with it. He's like, what? I love him, so I wanted to be him and like have him with me forever. And our main character's like, do you not realize how racist that is? He's like, don't call me that. You know, it's just like there's a whole conversation about that, which is really interesting. And it's a really weird book, and it definitely reminds you of something that Kayla from Books and Lala would love. But I think she did rate this pretty highly. I think she gave it like 4 stars maybe, but I'm liking it. I think I'll finish it in the next vlog because I only have like an hour or so left of the audiobook. It's a really short read, but it's interesting. It's weird. I'm liking it, kind of. And then I did start another book. Of course, I couldn't help myself. And that is Juniper and Thorn by Ava Reed. I don't know how far I'm into this, maybe like 20% or so. And I'm really loving it. Like this is giving me 5-star feels. And let me tell you, that is so rare for me these days. I actually checked my spreadsheet today and I filtered all the books that I've read this year by the star rating, and I just looked at my 5-star reads, and there are so few. There are so few books that I've read that are 5 stars this year. And I'm not counting rereads because those were bound to be 5 stars, but like brand new reads for this year are so few. It's really depressing. But I'm really enjoying this. Like I'm loving the writing style. I'm loving our characters. They're so fascinating, and this world is just so lush and beautiful. So you follow our main character, who I think we know her name, but I don't remember and I can't see it quickly on here. But essentially we're following a main character who has 2 sisters and her father, and they live in this giant mansion house, and they're not allowed to leave. Their father has kind of gone over the edge, and I think we're gonna find out why later, but essentially he has warded the house to where the girls can't leave. It's really interesting so far. Like I'm loving the writing style, and our main character is kind of falling in love with this boy that she has seen at the opera. They snuck out to go see this play, and they were so entranced, and our main character kind of fell in love with the main actor. And then like the next day he shows up at their house and he has some sort of ailment, and our main character is a witch, so she has powers and is able, I think she's able to like detect what's wrong with people or something. I don't really know, but anyways, it's just real good. I'm obsessed with the writing. It is so beautiful, but it's not overly flowery. Like, I don't like too much flowery writing, but this feels like the right amount, and the audiobook is just chef's kiss. It's so beautifully narrated. So really enjoying all the things I'm reading right now for the most part, so that is great. But yeah, that's basically gonna be it for this vlog. I need to edit this vlog tomorrow, and basically this weekend is just gonna be a big party weekend. So you'll hear all about that in the following vlog. But thank you all so very much for watching, and if you made it this far into the video, comment some like nature emojis, because I feel like I'm reading some very nature heavy books in terms of like their covers. Like, we love to see it. And I will see you all in another video soon. Goodbye!